Brothers and sisters, the President of the United States. Thank you very much. Thank you. Come on. Thank you. Thank you. Let me say, first of all, I thank you for that. I'm profoundly moved, and I was thinking when I was watching David Mixner make those remarks that 30 years ago, when I let him sleep on my floor, when we were much younger men in England, and I didn't charge him a nickel for it. I never dreamed that either of us would be in this place tonight doing these things. David's life has taken a lot of twists and turns since then. He's had his ups and his downs like all the rest of us. But I can tell you something. When I met him when he was young, I thought I'd never met a person whose heart burned with the fire of social justice so strongly. He has never forgotten the roots of his childhood. He has never forgotten not only the pain that he and others, gay and lesbian Americans, have endured. He also cares for other people who are dispossessed and downtrodden and underrepresented and often forgotten. And tonight I was watching him, and he introduced his wonderful sister, who's also been a friend of mine for nearly 30 years now. And I was thinking how fortunate we are in this country at this time, with all the things we've had to do, to have had his energy, his heart, his devotion, his passion. It was 8 years ago that he and Scott Hitt and a few other Angle members met with me this week, 8 years ago here. Then in May of '92, we had a big event out here. And some of you were there. And I told you that I had a vision of America, and you were part of it. That we were all part of the same community. Well, tonight, I thank you for helping to make that happen. I also want to say I thank my good friend Governor Gray Davis for the leadership he has given in California. I thank our leader in the House of Representatives, who, when David made that crack about the Canterbury Tales and how we're known by our traveling companions, kind of made me feel sorry for Dick Gebhardt. But you talk about a guy that gets up and goes to work every day under adverse conditions and continues to do the right thing. He does. But I know that Representative Baldwin and Becerra and Kennedy and Sherman and Waxman are here, and they're his good fellow travelers. And We just need 5 more in the company to make it a much better trip. Thank you. I want to thank Bill Malamet, Skip Paul, Gwen Baba, Roberta Bennett for putting this together. I want to thank the members of our administration who came, Sean Maloney, Karen Tramontano, Mignon Moore, Fred Hochberg, Richard Socarides, Marcia Scott, and I want to thank Scott Hitt especially, who's been the chair of the AIDS Council. He's having his last meeting as chair on Monday, and he's been magnificent. We ought to give him a big hand. I'd also like to thank the Gay Men's Chorus. I was back there feverishly trying to write down all those lines. I swear to God. I want to call Hillary and give her those best lines tonight. You know, I'm trying to remember them all. It was unbelievable. Someone would furnish me with the lyrics of that song. I would be eternally grateful. You know, I'd like to put what brought us all here tonight, just for a minute. I know a lot of other people are going to speak and have a lot of great things to say, but I would like to put this in, just for a moment, in the context of history and the larger context of our future. And how the fight for equal rights and equal opportunity and full participation to build one America fits in with all the other things we should be doing as a country. And how what we are at home will determine what we can do around the world in the new millennium. When I ran for president in 1992, most Americans felt things were pretty dismal in this country. The economy was in bad shape, the society was divided, all the social indicators, crime, welfare, and other things were going in the wrong direction. Politics was, as we all remember from the convention they had back then on the other side, a matter of division, you know. Just drive a wedge in society and make sure your wedge is bigger than their wedge. You get more votes, you win. And if everybody's all torn up and upset, who cares? You're in power. And over and over and over again, things in Washington were sort of repeating themselves like a broken record. And I felt that we could do better with a unifying vision. That's why I set out a vision of America, and you were part of it. But I also had a vision that we could build an economy that was good for working people and employers. I believe we could build a country where we could grow the economy and make the environment better, not worse. I've always believed that the real purpose of life and growth is to try to figure out how to develop these unifying visions and to move closer to them, and to break down all these funny walls we have to put up in our minds to organize life into little boxes so we can figure out how to get from here to there. And, you know, in '92, the American people just sort of took a chance on me and Al Gore. I mean, it was an argument we made, and there was no evidence for it because the other crowd had been in so long. We just made an argument. And it was not an easy race. A month after we had that meeting out here in May of '92, I won the California primary, and the headlines the next day was that the exit polls showed that all the people that voted for me really wanted Ross Perot to be president. And I was in 3rd place. And he and President Bush got in a fight about who messed up whose daughter's wedding or something. And you remember that? I mean, it was an amazing... and I thought to myself, man, people don't have jobs. They're being foreclosed on. Why are you guys fighting about this? The wedding went off without a hitch. Why is this about?